All right. Double feature. Bang. Boom. Boom. All right. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the stream. It is part 2 of February 21st, 2025. And sneak peek on my screen, as you can see here, I just got done recording a Python crash course try it yourself problem walkthrough. So be on the lookout tomorrow. I'll go ahead and edit that up after this part 2 stream and get that uploaded tomorrow for you guys. But this is going to be the chill session, I guess, the late night session. Thank you guys so much for joining me here and for hanging out. Let's go ahead and get into this. All right, hold on 1 second. The Discord people are, that's funny. All right, let's get on into the coding here. So, we need to continue on with data structures and algorithms in Python. Unfortunately, we have no excuses. We just got to keep going. Yeah, it's getting hard and stuff, but that's what she said, and we got to keep moving. So let's keep on going here. I want to go ahead and let's close this up. Close that up. Close that up. Open up my DSA in Python. Nice. All right, and then let's go ahead and read out of the book here. I want to kind of move on here and do some reading. Okay, here we go. Chapter 10, Maps, Hash Tables, and Dictionaries. So let's go into here, create a new, Chapter 10. Chapter 10 notes.md. Let's go here. We'll open up chapter 9. Open up copy this over into our chapter 10. Boom. Chapter 10. Chapter 10.1. This is called Maps, Hash Tables, and Skip Lists. Okay, Maps and Dictionaries. Hey, how's it going, Ariano? How's it going? Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you are so well. What are you studying this evening? Appreciate you for joining. All right. And let's go ahead and get some, because this is the late night stream. Let's go ahead and get some chill music going. How about, yeah?
In New York, Tokyo, Milano, and Paris, you have to feel that.
All right. Let me know how the audio is. All right, let's get going here.
It's fantastic.
We're doing some reading right now, Ariano. We'll do some Leet code and Neet code practice maybe a little bit later. All right, we solve some problems. Usually try to do like one a day or so on the channel. For those that are new, my name is Michael. I'm 26. I have a degree in human biology and a minor in chemistry. I graduated back in 2021. I work as a formulation chemist for a biotech company. I've been teaching myself Python and computer science more generally for the past 6 months now. I'm fairly new and a beginner, kind of transitioning to that intermediate level. We have been reading out of data structures and algorithms in Python live on the channel, word by word, example by example. It's been a really good, practice, and we are, slowly starting to get all this stuff. We're taking Harvard CS50X alongside of this as well. So we got a lot of content coming on the channel. I stream every single day. This is the double feature for this Friday night. Let's go ahead and jump into this. All right. Python's dict class is arguably the most significant data structure in the language. It represents an abstraction known as a dictionary in which unique keys are mapped to associated values. Because of the relationship they expressed between keys and values, dictionaries are commonly known as associative arrays or maps. Right, so the dict class, right, so this is pretty simple, right? Represents an abstraction known as a dictionary in which unique keys are mapped to associated values. Because of the relationship, dictionaries are commonly known as associated arrays or maps, commonly referred to as associative arrays or maps. In this book, we use the term dictionary when specifically discussing Python's dict class and the term map when discussing the more general notion of the abstract data type. As a simple example, figure 10.1 illustrates a map for the names of countries to their associated units of currency, right? So you have Turkey, use the lira, Spain and Greece use the euro, China uses the yuan, United States uses the dollar, and India uses the rupee, right? A map from countries, the keys to their units of currencies, the values. We note that the keys, the country names, are assumed to be unique, and the values of the currency units are not necessarily unique. For example, we note that Spain and Greece both use the euro currency. Maps use an array-like syntax. Maps use an array-like syntax for indexing, such as currency, quote, Greece, to access a value associated with a given key, or currency, quote, Greece equals drachma to remap it to a new value. Unlike a standard array, indices for a map need not to be consecutive or even numeric. Common applications of maps include the following, right? So, right, to index into the map, right? Index into a dict / map, right, will just be as simple as going, you have, we'll do an example here of like this. We'll go currency equals to an array or a dictionary, and then inside we have we'll just set it to a blank dictionary, right? And then we'll go ahead and index into currency, index quote Greece will equal quote the drachma. My cat is chirping at me. What are you chirping at? What you chirping at? Come here. Let's pull her up. Kitty's saying hello. She's chirping at me. What you doing, kitty? Right. So this, we'll put a thing here. sets a new key grease with a it sets a new key grease within the currency dictionary and sets its value to quote drachma. Cool. So then we'll go ahead and do this guy here like that. Does that take care of that? No. So then how can I keep this into Python? Forgot. Oh, that was it, I think. Shift Command V. There we go. Currency. I'm not getting this guy though. I need to bring this guy down. And then Shift Command V. There we go. And then we'll, instead of doing this, we'll make it a Python comment. Like that. Cool. All right, 2 hours debugging it, and the issue was my live host server just needed to be refreshed. Oh my gosh. Tough luck, my friend. I'm sorry about that, Richard. Welcome into the stream for the late night part 2. Is that what you're working on right now, Richard? What you studying right now? How's it going? Okay, cool. So let's move on here. So common applications of maps include the following. A university's information system relies on some form of student ID as a key that is mapped to the student's associated record. Serving the value, the domain name system maps a host name such as www.wiley.com to an internet protocol IP address such as 208.215.179.146. A social media site typically relies on a non-numeric username as a key that can be efficiently mapped to a particular user's associated information. Computer graphics systems may map a color name such as turquoise to the triplet numbers that represent the color's RGB representation. And then Python uses a dictionary to represent namespaces, mapping and identifying strings such as pi to an associated object such as 3.14159. Cool. Right, those are just examples of dictionaries, or maps for that better, for a larger, more umbrella term. In this chapter and the next, we demonstrate that a map may be implemented so that a search for a key and its associated value can be performed very efficiently, thereby supporting fast lookup in such applications. In this, so the map ADT. In this section, we introduce the map ADT and define its behaviors to be consistent with those of the Python's built-in dictionary class. We begin by listing what we consider the most significant 5 behaviors of a map M as follows. So the map abstract data type are consistent with that of Python's dictionary dict class. Okay, so maps have the following. So map behaviors. So 1. M index K. Right. M index K returns the value associated with the key. So I'll do M index key here to make it more straightforward. Returns the value. It's not highlighted. Returns the value associated with the provided key index. Returns the value associated with the key K in map M if one exists. If one exists. Otherwise, raise a key error. In Python, this is implemented with the special method under get item. Two. Richard, I'm done for now. I'm doing a tutorial in Python using WebSockets to make a simple chat room. What are you doing? Just reading some more of this DSA and Python book. We are over halfway done with the book. We're on page 425 of 770. So honestly, my goal for 2025 and for honestly earlier than that, before my 1 year programming mark, is to have finished this book. That'll be a huge milestone to have read a really intense, collegiate level DSA and Python book, word by word, example by example, and have a good repo to show for it. So yeah. If you guys want access to all of this stuff, I have it on my GitHub, and also if you're new here, I have everything, a roadmap of all my learning linked in my description below in my Discord. I provide everything in there. I'm completely transparent of my learning and my struggles through this process. I'm a chemist by profession. I have a degree in human biology and a minor in chemistry. I graduated in 2021, and I've been teaching myself for a little bit over half a year now. After my 9-to-5 job. EBB, I followed you a few months ago and honestly admire your consistency, especially learning through reading books and doing exercises. Props to you. Thank you, EBB. I appreciate you. That's so kind. I just watched a video during my little break here of like an 11-year-old that was like programming DSA from a book just like this, and I was like, oh my gosh, we are cooked. I'm telling you. And I was like, oh, but I really appreciate your kind words, and it gets hard not to compare, right? About stuff. Try to just use it as motivation though, right? Hey, Samantha Self, thank you so much for jumping in here and leaving me a message. You're awesome. Same with you, EBB. Appreciate you guys. Did you start with any other programming languages? No, Python was my first one. I thought it was a great way to introduce me into programming through the Harvard CS50P, and then using Python Crash Course to solidify that knowledge. I provide all that information in my Discord, all my resources in there for those books and stuff. So the special method get item, I want to look this up again. Get item is a special method in Python that allows objects to use bracket notation for indexing, just like lists and dictionaries. When you define a get item in a class, you can retrieve an element from an instance using the object key. So you can define get item as self-return the index. Okay. Defines the index retrieval, index return for objects, right? Something like that. Okay, moving on. M index key is equal to the value. This will associated value v with key. Associate the value v. Okay, so we'll say assign slash associate the value with the key in map M. So I'll just say map like this for better words. In the map. Replacing the existing value. Right? If the map already contains an item with key equal to contains an item with said key. An element with said key. In Python, this is implemented with the special set item. With the special method set item. Okay. Number 3, delete or del. I always forget about that keyword. Do you guys forget about the delete keyword? Is right. This will remove from the map the item, the element with said with provided with the provided key if the map has no element like the song. The map has no element. Sorry. There's a key error. Raise key error. Right, and then we'll say in Python this is implemented with the special method del item. Okay, number 4 is the length of the map. Right, this one's pretty self-explanatory. Return the number of elements in map in the map in Python. This is implemented with the special method under length. Cool. Number 5. Got some chats here. Yeah, comparison is so odd. It can seem initially valid, like it's part of some default loop of perception. Then you can use logic and see why it's a hindrance, at least in some contexts. I think there's utility in it if you aren't using it to beat ourselves down, other people, but just an indicator of growth, even if reference to other people at levels. I see your DSA skills, and I have a goal of reaching a similar level when I put in as much time as you. Yeah, see, there's levels to everything, right, Richard? I envy that kid. You're kind of aspiring for like this current level. Like it's always in context, and there's levels to everything for sure. But it's just crazy that the kid's 11, right? But I mean, thinking about it, I've only been learning this for 6 months, so like if the kid has put in 6 months, then they could have been learning, DSA like this, but they have a lot of experience in other areas too. So it's crazy. It's just crazy. You have to check out that video. I posted it in the Discord if you're wondering what I'm referring to. So like the 11-year-old programming studying DSA. So iter on the map. The default iteration for a map generates a sequence of keys in the map. In Python, this is implemented with the special method iter, under iter, and it allows for loops in the form for key in map. Okay, so the iter of map, the default iteration for a map generates a sequence of keys in the map. A sequence of keys in the map, okay. In Python, this is implemented with the special method iter. So let me see, I want to see an example of that. Show me an example of iter on some map. Sure, calling iter on a map works if map is an iterable, meaning it has an iter method, or it's a getItem method with a sequential integer starting from 0. So if map is like a dictionary, right? The output will just be the keys in the dictionary. Oh, okay, so if you iter if you call iter on the map, it returns an object back to you of the iteration. And then you can call next on it to get the next key value every single time. Okay. Okay, let's keep moving here. Lots of methods here. Jeez. We have highlighted the above 5 behaviors because they demonstrate the core functionality of a map, namely the ability to query I butchered query in the other notes I took. The ability to query, add, modify, or delete a key value pair, and the ability to report all such pairs. For additional convenience, mapN should also support the following behaviors. K in M returns true. So I'm going to bold some of these. I'll go here and copy these and just paste them down. So these will be bolded. I go over here and view this in the markdown format, that's all these. Shift Command V. There we go. Oh, so that bolds as well. How can I not bold? Can I escape out? I'll have to do this. Oh. Oh. Whoops. My fault. My bad. Oh, come on. Stop giving me crap. Please, just format. Okay, so let's copy this over. Put this in here. Why am I doing that? It should be. Here and here, here and here. There we go. I've def got some solid time / skill in a few other areas of my life. I'm a noob here. Yeah, Richard, what else do you enjoy doing? Let me know. Do you have any other hobbies? For me, I really enjoy. I don't do it as much anymore. Honestly, I need to keep going. I do it probably once or twice a week, but I wish I could like get a little bit more time. But I'm doing programming. I play guitar. I've been playing guitar since I was like in 7th, 8th grade. Turn up the music a little bit. How's the music in the background? Matthew Ed Monston. Thanks so much for coming in, Matthew. I appreciate you. You're awesome. I'm getting so lost learning Python. Well, could you give a little bit more, could you elaborate a little bit on maybe where you're struggling? Maybe we can help you out in the chat and maybe see where you're getting struggling and maybe provide you with some resources or some practice problems. Let us know maybe your specifics, your situation going on, Matthew. Thanks for joining here. Oh, Minotaur, welcome back, dude. Awesome to hear from you again. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing awesome. How you doing, man? Welcome back to my stream and welcome back to the channel. Thanks for chatting it up here, dude. If you guys are here and wouldn't mind, throwing a thumbs up on the stream, it really helps to keep, YouTube promoting us and keeping it going here, and it helps motivate me just, internally. Honestly, it really does. So thank you guys truly for hanging out with me here. It's okay, NM, right? We know this one. This returns true if the map contains an element with the provided key. In Python, this is implemented with the special dunder contains method. Okay, number 7, map.get key default equals none. All right, we know the get, we learned that one the other day. So this return map index key, the value, right? If the key exists in the map. Otherwise, return default value provided via keyword parameter override. This provides a form to query map index key without risk of key error. Got you. I need to remember this get method a lot more. This seems very useful in like retrieving values associated with keys, and rather than having to do try except for key error, just handling it right off the jump.
I got started by listening to people that
like, could we even use a default and have a default be a function call to transport us elsewhere within our script? Map.set default key and then default. So this will be if the key exists in the map, simply return map index key, return the value at map index key, right? If the key does not exist, so we'll say however, if the key does not exist, set map key equal to default and return that value. Interesting. That's a cool method. Does Python actually have that, or is that a custom to this map abstract base class that we're learning about? Abstract data type, I mean. Got some chats here. Could you be, sorry, I cannot pronounce that. Can you recommend any website to practice Python practice problems? Yeah, better yet, I'll give you one better. I highly recommend on a beginner level. I know it might seem kind of, elementary, some of the examples, but in my opinion, that is the best way to learn, is to remove all of the crud and the FUD, for, like, trying to make it difficult with like tricky variable names and long variable names. Just simply make it cat, dog, car, simple elementary names like that and examples. I highly recommend the Python Crash Course by Eric Matz, right? I provide a PDF copy of this in my Discord. We read this book live on my channel, word for word, example by example, and did all the try-it-yourself problems in the book live on my channel when I was learning Python about, I still am learning Python, but I was really learning Python, the beginnings, the syntax about, 4 or 5 months ago. About 3 to 4 months ago. And so, yeah, not 3 to 4 months ago, about 4 to 5 months ago, yeah. 4 to 5, coming up on 6. Yeah. And so I provide a copy of this along with my personal notes I took while I was reading it. And I also am going back through on my channel and uploading solutions to those try-it-yourself solution or problems as like solo video series on my channel as well. So everything can be found in my Discord. So highly recommend taking a stab at those practice problems in that book. Kajusby. Richard says bodybuilding, powerlifting, guitar, other studies of various fields. That's kind of loosely done. Awesome, dude. Are you pretty jacked? Me? Not so much, my friend. You could snap me like a twig. I am pretty weak in terms of well, I mean, I have some like natural, I guess, just kind of hidden strength. I'm not like super like weak. Like I have to lift quite a bit of stuff in terms of like tanks and um, like this. I make like 20 or 50 liter solutions. I'll have to pick up and put onto dollies and stuff. So I have some kind of oomph to my step, but not nothing crazy, man. I definitely. My girlfriend is pretty good about going to the gym and working out. She's pretty serious about that. But I like to do the mental workouts. um, Learned part of Little Wing, half a comfortably numb solo, Iris, Goo Goo Dolls, and some Santana. Smooth on guitar recently. Broke a string, waiting to replace it. Yeah, I might need to. My thing with it, I have pretty acidic, like, I don't know, sweat or like fingers. So if even when I wipe down my guitar with a microfiber cloth, I have a '99 Fender Stratocaster Deluxe. It's my birth year guitar. I wanted to get a birth year version of my Stratocaster Deluxe. So it's got the like the opal, are they opal or ivory inlays? I can't remember. I'll have to show a pic of it in the Discord or a shot of it on the stream. It's in its case right now, but I go through strings pretty quick just because even when I wipe them down after about 4 or 5 uses, it gets pretty tarnished still. Even no matter what string I use, it's really annoying. I haven't been able to figure out what's going on, but I've been like that ever since I grew up. I've had to swap a ton of strings. But I only play about 2 or 3 times a week. I need to play more to keep up with it. Okay, let's keep on going here. So we have set default, we have m.pop, which takes the key and will default equal to none. And then we'll say that one, remove the item, right? Associated with the given key from the map and return its associated.
In the early years in Paris, when he was feeling extremely discouraged, he was just getting nowhere. And he went to see Picasso, and Picasso said, "Get in line, wait your turn. Just pretend you're waiting for the subway."
Value. Return the element.
It's inevitable.
Remove the element.
A failure, or 2, or 3, or 4.
Um,
At the same time,
slash record,
itself,
right? Associated with the given key
obsession, an obsessive kind of way of working.
from the map and return its associated value.
Free and spontaneous.
If the key is not in the map, return default value. The default value. Or raise key error if default equal none. Cool.
Surreal. More real.
Map.pop.
Reality itself. A dash of
All right.
and a dollop of Matisse.
Keep going here. Almost there. Thank you guys for being patient here. We're just doing some study reading here. We got time. It's Friday. We're chilling. What you guys doing? You guys got any plans for this weekend coming up? Map.pop item. What are we studying this weekend? I'll be streaming this weekend, probably doing double features both days. My girlfriend is not coming to visit this weekend. She's got work. So I will be free to stream, editing videos. I'm going to do a couple of the edit and upload a couple of the condensed watch-alongs for the CS50X course we're taking, and then also upload a couple of the Python crash course. I just recorded one right before this part 2 stream, and I'll edit that up after here. remove an
So it's just
arbitrary
too complex to really describe.
key value pair from the map and return a
In reality,
key value tuple representing the removed pair. If the map is empty, raise key error. Cool. 11 is map.clear. All right, this one will remove all key value pairs from the map. 12 map.keys. This will return a set-like view of all the keys in the map. 13 map.values. So these are just these are almost one-to-one and pretty similar with just the dictionary object in Python. So this is good review for just dictionaries as well, and understanding and remembering all of these methods. Might seem kind of tedious, but this is part of studying and solidifying these concepts. Making sure we don't skip over this stuff and really pound it in here. That's what she said. Okay, values. Return a set like view of all values. All the value, oh my gosh, type in the map. 14 map.items. This returns return a set like view of key value tuples of all entries of the map. 15. Whew, come on, map.update, almost there. M2, map 2. Assign map index key equals value for every key value pair in map 2. So it's just like assign, just basically like copying it over. Map equals map 2. What does this do? Return true if map and map 2 have identical key value associations. 17 map does not equal map 2. return true if map and map2 do not have identical key value associations. Whew, that was a lot. There we go. Looking forward to your learning journey. Nice guitar choice. Strat Deluxe. I want to play it. The wear and tear gives character. Yeah, definitely. It's in pretty good shape for a 99. It doesn't have any scratches or any scuffs really. I think it's been mostly case candy by its previous owners. I got it from a guy on Facebook who I don't think really knew how to play much. He kind of just had it. All right, cool. So in the following, we show the effect of a series of operations on initially empty maps, storing items with integer keys and single character values. We use the literal syntax for Python's dict class to describe the map context, right? So we start off with the length of the map, which is empty in this case, so it's 0. We set map with index key k to equal to 2. We add a new key b equals to 4. We have a new key u equal to 2, key v equal to 8, and key k equal to 9. So we override the key k to equal 9 in this case. We then we access the value at key b, which provides at 4. We do the same for x, but this provides a key error because we don't have an x. We get the value of f, which is none, because we don't have a value for f key in here. We get the value of key of f with a default of 5. We return 5 because there is none. Right? We get the value of the key k with the default of 5, but 9 has been assigned a value of 9. K has been assigned a value of 9, so that's why it returns 9, not the default 5. Length of the map at this point in time is 4 objects. We delete the key value v, no return value, just deletes it. We pop off the value of the key k, which returns the value of 9 associated with that key k. We call keys, which returns a tuple-like view of the keys, a set-like view, sorry. Same thing with values, returns the values, and then the items is a tuple-like, a set-like view of key value tuples. And then set default for b equals 1. B and a default of 1. So set default, what does that one do? If the key exists in the map, simply return the value. However, if it does not exist, return the default, return that value. Okay, so B does exist, it returns 4. So this is kind of like get, but if it doesn't exist, it actually sets it to that value, I think. Because you set a equal to 1 here. So it differs from get. Rather, the get method returns a default value, but the set default method actually sets that key value tuple if it doesn't exist. And then you obviously have pop. What's your coolest / most enjoyable song you play? Honestly, I play a lot of Foreigner songs. That's one of my favorite bands. I like, Cold as Ice. I like playing Rebel Yell by Billy Idol. But to be honest, I don't play a ton of, old, like songs, like in covers and stuff. I mainly just, improvise. That's mainly what I enjoy. I've been playing guitar for years and years and years, and I've just kept improvise. So I like to just go up and down, put on backing tracks, and play. I really kind of don't like it. It's not very much fun. I don't know, just playing along to tracks I know. I kind of just like playing my own stuff and just improvising along, whether it be blues or jazz or rock mainly. But then that's it. Not too critical, but I've been playing for a little while. I can make my way around. If I gave it some more dedication, I probably could get a lot better. Okay. Getting a little bit tired here. Okay, we'll go ahead. Let's go on 405. Where is 10-2? 410. 5 pages away. We can do it. We can do hard things, guys. We can do hard things. Okay. Application, counting word frequencies. As a case study for using a map, consider, okay, this is like that, this is just like the Neet code problem, counting frequencies, right? As a case study for using a map, consider a problem for counting the number of occurrences of words in a document. This is a standard task when performing a statistical analysis of a document. For example, when categorizing an email or news article, a map is an ideal data structure to use here, for we can use words as keys and word counts as values. We show such an application in code fragment 10.1. We break apart the original document string, a combination of file and string methods that results in a loop over a lowercase version of all separated pieces of the document. We omit all non-alphabetical characters so that parentheses, apostrophes, and other such punctuation are not considered part of a word. In terms of map operations, we begin with an empty dictionary named frequency. During the first phase of the algorithm, we execute the command frequency word equals 1 plus frequency.get word with a default of 0. For each word occurrence, we use the get method on the right-hand side because the current word might not exist in the dictionary. The default value of 0 is appropriate in that case. During the second phase of the algorithm, after the full document has been processed, we examine the contents of the frequency map, looping over frequency.items to determine which word has the most occurrences. Okay, so what happens here is we have an empty map here, frequency. For every piece in open file name .read, .lower, and .split, right, only consider alphabetical characters, so we will go ahead and use a join character for every character in piece if the character is alpha. So we'll join it into a string to create a word, basically iterating through, right, you're iterating through characters of each piece, which basically is split apart by words, right, based by white space via the splits, but you could have non-alphabetical characters in there. So you call the is alpha using this list or this tuple comprehension, right, or set comprehension, whatever. So character for character, no, is it? It's a generator comprehension, I think. So character for character in piece if the character is alpha. So if the character in that, initial word is an alphabetical character, we'll go ahead and join it to this empty string and save that as a word. If we have a word, right, we'll go ahead and say frequency at that key for that word is equal to 1 plus frequency get word equals 0. Default 0. So you'll get the current value of this frequency, increase it by 1. If it's not there, set it by 0. So this is kind of doing a kind of a nice one-liner almost for doing that whole plus equals 1 rather than just if word set plus equal 1, else set equal 1, right, set the key equal 1. So right, that's what this is kind of a cool one-liner here you can do, I guess. You can call the get word or the get method on the actual map itself for that specific word and return a default value of 0 if it doesn't exist, to do that first increase of 1 if it doesn't exist, which is really interesting. That's a cool way of doing it, actually. You're all good, Richard. Honestly, I'm a little bit apprehensive. The leak codes, it takes a lot of mental from me, and it's just I have to be in like the right mindset and setting. I have to be ready to like really charge the mountain. If I'm like not in the right mindset, I just kind of like will just not do too hot and just kind of struggle through it, because it just requires so much focus and brain power that I really kind of have to be super juiced for it to get much out of it. But I wanted to read through this book here. We're almost to the end of 10.1 here. So then we take max word is equal to some empty string. Max count is equal to 0. For the key, which is the word and the count in the frequency.items, if the count is greater than the max count, right, we'll set it and set the max. Okay, so you're basically finding the one that's the max. Could you not call max on this frequency.items? No, because you have to access the what about the get gets the get. Can we not call the get method to because you have to specify a specific key. So which returns the value? Set default. Little bros Cyrus, how's it going? What kind of project are you working on? We're not working on a project right now per se. We're reading the DSA in Python book, but we do have a personal project that we've been coding on this channel. It's the Small Business Manager project. I currently need to go back through, and because we got function mania going on right here, I currently need to go back through and kind of organize things up and really clean things up before I push this to GitHub for everybody. But we've been writing this project live on the channel. It uses object-oriented programming, file I/O, a bunch of goodies that we've been learning over the course of the last few months to take in items, convert those items into for sale and sold, take in expenses, cross-reference those expenses to populate a business class, and provide statistics for business information. Cool, so that's how you get the max word count. Cool, gotcha. That one's pretty easy, I get that. Okay, section 2.4.3 provides an introduction to the concepts of an abstract-based class and the role of such classes. Alright, I'm gonna have to call it here on this on the reading here. My brain is starting to fade away on the reading. Let's go ahead and call it on the reading here, and let's jump over to the project actually now that we're talking about it. Alright. Okay, so this is the Small Business Manager project. We have been working on this for the past few months. We have the ability to take in inventory items and convert those items into for sale or sold via their parameter or attribute statuses. We can then, on the generation of items via their cost of good, we generate expenses, and then also via their shipping price, we generate expenses on that as well. So you have two instances of which you could generate an expense from an item on creation and on sale if you have a shipping price. Now, we wanted to provide, what I wanted to do was create an additional functionality for my actual statistics here for tracking expense information regarding the specific categories. So we'll go into my business.py and we'll go here for self.expense underscore information. We'll create a new category called quote annual annual gross expenses cat expenses tag, right? And then we'll set this equal to self dot initialize annual gross cat expenses. So this will be a function within our program here. Right, so we have this initialized gross annual expenses here, or we have some empty array. So we'll probably need to do something just probably similar. So def init annual gross categorized expenses given self, right? We're going to need to do annual gross cat expenses that were found are going to be here. And we're basically going to do the same thing with expense amount. Try to get the date off of it. So maybe what we can do actually is just create a switch on this original function. So let's try this. Let's create a switch. Right, is equal to none here by default, right? We'll say if amount do this, right? We'll say if switch is equal to quote so we need to set a switch here. We'll say if the switch, now we need to indicate this flag to basically kind of like a switch for diverting a train. So we're trying to just divert this into the other direction, but keeping on the same general path of, a train track. So we're trying to just switch our direction of focus from the actual annual gross expenses, but to if categorized, if the switch is equal to categorized, right, we're going to go ahead So we have if switch is categorized, what do we want to return? We want to return, how do we want to do this? We could have the categories are the key. No, because we want them per year. Okay, so this will be these are all our categories here. So we need to basically be able to access all of them individually and set them as keys. So we'll go we'll create a dictionary where the key, how do I want to do this? Haha, charge the mountain. Richard says, charge the mountain. Indeed, regarding the leak code problems, I'm almost scared sometimes. Yeah, me too. It just really drains you. Little bro Cyrus says, what kind of project? Oh, we got you already. Please talk about the session. Looks awesome. Cool, you went to school for computer science. No, for those that are new, I have a degree in human biology and a minor in chemistry. I have been teaching myself computer science and programming for just about 6 months now. This is the personal project that we're working on, Ryan. This is not the problem set, no. So if the switch is equal to categorized, we want to create a new dictionary, and the key what do I want to do here? I'm struggling. So the key is going to be this new dictionary. The key is going to be the year. But the dictionary is going to be saved as a dictionary itself. Right, because we're going to have this dictionary, which is going to have the categories. So we need to say how do we want to do this? Oh, shoot, it's like right there on the tip of my tongue. So we want to key. No, we want to assign the we have a list of categories. If the switch is equal to categorized, we want to then flag the creation dictionary where the oh shoot, I'm struggling. Trying I'm trying to do too much at once here. Let's just break it down to the smaller problems. Break it down. So if it's equal to categorized, what is the first thing we want to do? The first thing we want to do if the switch is set to categorized is create a dictionary where so in annual gross expenses dictionary, a key of category, right, for category in self dot expense settings categories. So we want to then wrap this in a dictionary. Right, so this will create a value of equal to what do we want to set the value equal to? None. Right, so that will create a dictionary where we have a key as the category and a value as none for every category in the expense categories. Perfect. No, but I don't want category 2025. Ah, shoot. I don't want to create a key in here that is a dictionary. I want to just go category the switch is set to categorize. I want to take the category that I'm currently dealing with. I want to So what we're trying to get back is a dictionary, basically, where the key is the category and the value is a dictionary of years, similar to what we're doing with the initialized revenue here and here. So we need to first establish the keys within the annual gross expenses. So we need to create a key of annual gross expenses with a key of a category for every category, right, with a default, with a value set to none, just to start. Right, so that will create a key within this dictionary and have a value set to none. Hey Zanab, how's it going? Welcome. How's it going? Super positive. Thank you for joining me here. We're just working on the project in Python that we've been working on for the past few weeks and months. This is the Small Business Manager project that we've been writing from scratch live on the channel here. How's it going, Janelle? How's it going, Zanab? Welcome back, you guys. So now I'm not sure if that's going to properly set to none. So let me copy this. I'll throw it in the almighty orb. Let's see what it says about it. It's creating a dictionary comprehension. Let's break it down step by step, right? Yep. Annual gross expense category. This is a dictionary being created where each category is a key. This is the value assigned to each key. Perfect. Exactly, perfect. That's what I wanted to do. Now what we need to do is we need to go like this and say, okay, for key value, so for key in right, so we say for key in annual gross expenses dot keys, right? We're going to expense. So we're already accessing the current expense though. Because this is looping through all of our expenses currently that we have. So we'll say current expense category if expense dot expense information right, index quote categories if you're on the current expense category. Okay, we'll do this, but then we'll say if you have expense information categories, so Zanab says if switch equals to categorized, category, or category, if switch equals to categories and category in. Right, so we have built the dictionary for all the categories that are currently, at this stage. And then what we wanted to do is we need to create another dictionary, which is the year and that expense amount. Well, it's not expense information. Settings. Ah, gosh. So what are we doing here? We need to... If the expense... category... expense as a cat. Self.cat. So we have expense number and expense. If expense quote cat in annual gross expenses, right? So then we'll go into try the following. Go to the annual gross expenses, index into the expense quote cat index key, right? So this should be inventory or shipping. Right, index, the value of this is currently none. We want to set it to a dictionary. We want to set this equal to a dictionary. Right, we're having a dictionary within a dictionary, where now the key is the year so gosh dang it. It's getting complex here. Chemical warfare on leak code. Alright, time to watch the show before bed. Later, man. Have a good night, Richard. Thanks so much for stopping in and hanging out tonight. Good hard work on you tonight. You should feel proud. You got a lot done this evening. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow, man. So we have, if the expense category, right, so inventory is in the annual gross expenses currently, try to go there. Date. Try and go to this location, which is the current category. Its value is currently none via this here. We need to set it to a dictionary where the value this is difficult. Hold on, let me I don't know, this is kind of annoying. Let me first try it, I guess, by just doing the original way I was going to do it with def init annual gross cat expenses, its own function here, without trying to do a switch. Okay, so this will have to take in self as well. So we'll have annual gross expenses, categorized expenses, right, is equal to some dictionary. We're going to go for every expense I first want to just generate, actually, let me go ahead and comment this all out. I first want to generate a dictionary that gives me all of the years so what I'm doing right now is if expense has an amount, I'm taking the amount, I'm setting it as the value of the date. Which is good. So that's what I want to do. So I'll do the same thing up here, just like I was trying to do before. Taking this, right? Right. Okay. So we're going through the expenses. If it has an amount, we're setting the date. Right, so I don't want to sort by amount first. I want to I need to first sort by I first want to sort. Ah, my brain is so foggy right now. I'm tired. Sorry, you guys. Um, this is just the reality of it sometimes. So if the expense amount category, I don't want to do that. I want to first create my first goal is to create a dictionary, right, where I need 2025 values, and I only want to add those up for the specific categories. So this is where I think SQL would be useful, that we're learning about right now. So, oh my gosh, I just cannot figure this out. I know what I want to do. We're wanting to make a dictionary where the key is the category, and then the value is another dictionary. Another dictionary where we will go ahead and the um, where the current is going to be broken up by the year. We're going to do this expense date, and then my value is going to be expense amount current expense we're on, the date. dot get one plus expense amount dot get for key this with default of 0. That's kind of crazy. Okay, so I have a I have a dictionary comprehension inside of a dictionary comprehension. Oh my gosh. So I'm creating I don't even know where to start to explain this, but this is what I wrote. Let's see if it likes this. Looks like you're trying to build a dictionary comprehension to aggregate annual gross expenses by category and year, but there are a few issues with your expression. Let's break it down. What you're trying to do, loop over each category in self-expense categories, extract the year, incrementally sum the expenses. Just as fix. Category. Create lit dictionary. Category. For expense and something. Year is this amount. Oh, okay, I see what it's trying to say. Hey Skylar, how's it going? So it's wanting us to go annual gross expense. Go back here. Like this. Categorize. So this is going to be that dictionary comprehension, right? So category with a dictionary for category in self dot expense settings categories, right? So that's going to create that dictionary within this dictionary. Okay. We're going to go into here for expense in right dot items. So this will say if amount, right? If you have an amount, we'll say amount is equal to expense quote amount. We then will say that the year is equal to this guy here, and that the category is equal to expense cat. Right, because the expense class has category here. Cat. So we get right? And then we say if category in annual gross category expenses annual gross category expenses for the category initially, and then you can index further into the year equals to what we had before for the dot get annual gross expenses category dot get year 0. Right, and then we have to plus the amount provided at this category. And then we don't need this. Right, so then I'll get rid of this switch here stuff. Right. So this will create a gross annual expenses. We go here to the start menu. We load the file. We create the categories and methods. And then the business pie, that loads that under the hood. Save file type business. So if we save file, dump dict to dict. So if I go to businesses, go to dict, name, expense information, which will automatically populate there. Okay, so then if we go ahead and try this out, go here, go over here. Yes. If I open up my business.json, we should see an additional expense information dictionary open up inside of here. Dang it. Self.expense settings. Business object has no attribute. Self.expense. Line 26 here. Self.expense settings. Business object has no attributes. Expense settings. Hey Skylar, I just read your bio. Cool to see someone else who went from biochem to CS for fun. Awesome. Are you all in CS right now? Your best class missing expense setting attributes not probably initialized or calling. So Hmm. So in the update, self-diags. Expense settings. Categories. Bike might know. Hey Armando, how's it going? Welcome in. We're just working on this right now. Let's go ahead and keep the music going here.
In New York, Tokyo, Milano, and Paris, you have
Um,
to feel that music. You have to understand baroque to jazz to modern to world music. It's fantastic.
for loading.
It's hard to say. I follow my inspiration.
Load
Of
file.
course, I had the feeling that a new chapter would be a success.
Load all of this. Trying to get in this error still. Which I am.
In New York, Tokyo, Milano, and Paris, you have to feel that music. You have to understand baroque to jazz to modern to world music. It's fantastic.
Likely so. I think this is an attribute set for you're deserializing.
In New York, Tokyo, Milano, and Paris, you have to feel that music. You have to understand
Expenses,
baroque
categories.
jazz to modern to world music. It's fantastic.
business dot expense settings categories. Okay, expenses here.
New York City in 1940.
Create. Settings categories. Let's do something. Load all expenses. Expense settings. Calling this on itself, which I need to get access to that. So it's like oh. Let's take these two. Bring them down so it's initialized. Now if we run this, okay, now we should get, woo, yes, nice, we got it. So we just had to fix the order of our scope of our functions on our expense. That's why it wasn't working. We were accessing it appropriately, but we were initializing the call before we actually were initializing the categories. So now in our business.json here, within our expense information, right? Expense, like we'll say we should probably say financial information. So within our expense financial information, right? We have so income information. Expense information. Right, so now it's categorizing the actual amounts per the year per the category. Woohoo! Might keep going, never give up, keep We got this, Armando. I got you. Thank you so much for that feedback. You're awesome. Right, so now we have annual gross categorized expenses is inventory, shipping, broken down to their years. Now what we might be able to do is we might be able to just sum these values rather than doing this iteration again to generate this one here. Because we're doing extra work here. But it's okay for right now, I guess. Sweet. That's what I wanted to get done today. So the thing about it though is our expense information. Our expense information might expense finance information, and then we'll make it expense settings. Cool, that looks really good. Nice. That's awesome. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and let's try this. Let's command delete, command delete that, delete that, command delete that. Let's run our main. Yes. Okay, that generated all 3 files. You see, blank, blank in there. All those are blank with those by default. Yes. Inventory, add item, test, cost 10, size medium, today's date, quantity 1. Okay, that generated an expense for that item, that cost that we generated for that item. We can go to main menu, transact, item search, number 1. List as sold, use today's date, sold price would be 20. Standard shipping of $5. Okay, so the revenue doesn't update until the end, so we need to fix that. As well as the categorization doesn't happen until the initialization. So we don't have an update either. Okay. So I think we should integrate SQL into this to help pull information. That'll be a good project to work on next. Help integrate. But we should probably also start thinking about organizing this up. Get this really organized. Alright, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the stream off here. We streamed for 2 hours on the second part 2 for tonight, the double feature. Today is February the 21st, Friday. We streamed for 2 hours on the second half, and then earlier we streamed for, I think, an hour and a half. So a total of 3.5 hours today. I'm just a little bit tired. I had work this morning, had to get up, and I was staying up late last night editing up a video and getting it out for you guys, the condensed version of one of our CS50 live watch-alongs back from week 3. I'm going to go ahead and edit up one of the Python Crash Course Try It Yourself problems to upload onto the channel. And then that'll be up tomorrow. But I'll be back on stream tomorrow. We'll probably come on around noon and stream for, a good 3 or 4 hours. And then take a break and then come back later that evening for a part 2 double feature again. But anyways, you guys, please join me in the Discord so you can get access to my announcements for when I go live, as well as all my resources for my notes, projects, and everything else. Please subscribe and like the stream if you enjoyed hanging out with me today. I really enjoy being here with you guys and programming and learning. Just trying to do this on my own time, little by little. We're not in any rush. We're really just trying to learn this to the best of our abilities and be successful. So thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.